What's going on, YouTube? R to the double E dash to the ZON coming at you once again. And like I promised, I'm coming with my full-on Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze review for the Nintendo Wii U. Now, I gave my first impressions on this game yesterday in a video I uploaded yesterday. Very quick video, just talking about how I felt about the game after playing it for so long. It wasn't a very in-depth review type of video. It was just my first impressions, and like you saw, I'm thrilled with the game. Just straight up in love with it. An amazing action-adventure 2D platformer for the Nintendo Wii U. Easily in the contention for Game of the Year this year already. I know it's early, but the game is that good. Now I'm going to get right into it. First and foremost, let me show you the box once again. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on the Nintendo Wii U. Love the box art. Love everything about this game. Let's just get right into it, man. First and foremost, the game, I can tell you this right off the bat, before even going into any in-depth detail, which I will do, it is the best Donkey Kong Country game ever. Ever. It's better than Donkey Kong Country. It's better than Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest. It's better than Donkey Kong Country 3 Double Trouble, I believe it's called, on the Super Nintendo. It's better than Donkey Kong Country Returns. It is the biggest, most expansive game in the entire franchise. Retro Studios did an amazing job with everything from the art, the look of the game, the visual style of the game, to the level design, to the gameplay, to the pacing. I mean, everything is amazing in this game. Now, basically, the story, for those of you who may not know, is Donkey Kong is gathered around with his friends and family, Cranky Kong, Diddy Kong, and Dixie Kong, and they're all sitting around. And it looks like I think it's Donkey Kong's birthday or something of that nature, because they're celebrating with a cake and everything, and they're just having a great time. And all of a sudden, off the coast of Donkey Kong Island, the Snowmads, which are these Viking-like creatures, penguins and polar bears and things of that nature, are invading, and they're coming in a fleet of ships. And the main boss, who's you don't really get a good look at him. You get like just a silhouette, how big he is, how massive he is. You see him and all the rest of the Snowmads. They're basically eyeing Donkey Kong Island through a telescope, and he basically blows this giant horn that they bring to him, and that just causes a giant snowstorm to come and invade Donkey Kong Island. Well, Donkey Kong and friends see this happening because the candle on their cake gets blown out by a snowflake, which they're like, you know, what the hell is a snowflake doing here? It's a tropical island. They go outside and they see the fleet coming, and they get blown away by this massive storm to another island. And so basically, this game, instead of going through different zones of Donkey Kong Island, you're going through different islands, trying to work your way back to Donkey Kong Island that's now been taken over by the Snowmads and is a frozen winter wonderland, so to speak. So that's basically the gist of what's going on. That's the plot. And every island that you visit in this game is phenomenal. You have islands that are water specific. What I mean by that is water levels, swimming levels, which yes, they did bring back, and they are better than they have ever been. I mean, they were always great in the Donkey Kong games on Super Nintendo, but there wasn't really any water levels in Donkey Kong Country Returns. Well, they brought that back in boatloads here. There's a lot of water levels, great swimming mechanics. They made, I heard another reviewer say this, and I couldn't agree more. They made a 400 or 500 pound gorilla graceful underwater. Donkey Kong and friends swim effortlessly, gracefully. The controls underwater are spot on. They also have not just water-themed levels, but jungle-themed levels, and then mangrove-themed levels, and ruins, and things of that nature. They brought back the minecart levels, but they're just done so well this time around, better than ever. And a lot of this has to do with the inclusion of the new dynamic camera. Now, there is a new dynamic camera in this game that at different parts in certain levels of the game, while the action is unfolding, the camera will either pan around a full 360 degrees, around the characters or around the action to give you that tremendous 3D feel, or maybe it'll have like a slanted from behind view, or just straight up from behind, or overhead, or whatnot, but it gives it a three-dimensional feel to the game while you're playing. That's a very it's an innovative and brand new mechanic in the game engine for Donkey Kong Country games, and it just works flawlessly. I wish they did it more. That's one of the only complaints I might have about the game, if you even want to call it a complaint, because it really isn't. It's just one of the things that I felt they could have done more was that. The dynamic camera is amazing. From when you're launching from barrel to barrel and the camera's going around, or you're on a minecart going through these crazy ups and downs, and then the camera swoops behind you and above, and you're on a free fall like on a roller coaster, going right into the heart of a volcano or whatever it is. It's just amazing, man. Now, the 4 playable characters, Donkey Kong, if you're playing the game in single player mode, you will play as Donkey Kong, and that's only right. I know people wanted to be able to play as different characters, but let's be real. It's called Donkey Kong whatever. Donkey Kong, whatever. It's a Donkey Kong game, and he is the main character. So if you're playing it in single player mode, you will be Donkey Kong. Excuse me. Now, where the gameplay switches up is that you're able to pick from one of 3 different partners to play along with you, be it Dixie Kong, Diddy Kong, or Cranky Kong. And even if you pick a certain character, you'll come across certain DK barrels in the game, which, DK barrels are nothing new for Donkey Kong games, but there is a new feature to these DK barrels. Some of, not all, but some of the DK barrels, you'll see the letters CK, DK, or DX, whatever, rotating on the barrel. And whenever you pick up the barrel, whatever letters are displayed, that's what character you'll get. So you might have Dixie on your back, but see another barrel, pick it up, and break it when it says CK, and then she'll jump out, and Cranky Kong will jump in. And each of these playable, or each of these sidekicks, I should say, have unique abilities that just alter the gameplay incredibly. Dixie Kong is by far the most versatile. She's the most useful. Her hovering ability with, her spinning ponytail, it gives you a lot of hover. It doesn't just give you a hover, it gives you extra height. So that works with dangerous jumps on, moving platforms and things of that nature. Cranky Kong uses his cane much like Scrooge McDuck in the original DuckTales, or DuckTales Remastered if you played that one, where he jumps up and then he bounces off the cane. Now that not only gives you a little bit of extra height when you're jumping, but it also, you can literally do that all day on spines or thorns or, perilous platforms that you can't really stand on without getting hurt. You could just use him and just bounce on him, and you'll be fine. And then Diddy has his rocket pack, which is just strictly hovering. No extra height or anything like that. And then the way you mix and match, with these sidekicks, depending on the levels and what the level calls for, really gives you there's a bit of a strategic element to what you go into a level with. Funky Kong comes back, and he runs the shop on each island, and the shop this time around has a lot more items than it's ever had. It doesn't just have red balloons and extra hearts. It has red balloons for extra lives, green balloons that will save you once. If you have one green balloon when you start a level and you fall into a pit, it'll save you instead of letting you die. You have blue balloons, I believe. I think it's a blue balloon. Yeah, blue balloon, if I'm not mistaken, which makes you invincible for a certain time, or something of that nature. You have a potion. You have also extra hearts. And then you have this little gumball machine that you put coins into, and you get little extra toys, which are figurines or concept art or whatever. There's a lot of content in this game. Now then, David Weiss, which is one of the original composers of the man from back in the day who did all the great music you've heard on the Super Nintendo trilogy of Donkey Kong Country, has returned to compose the music for this game, and it is straight up the best soundtrack of any game I've played in recent memory. Even better, which is saying a lot, than Mario 3D World or even Mario Galaxy. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze has the best soundtrack of any game out there. You will walk around the streets, you will be at your job or doing whatever, humming some of the greatest songs from the different levels in this game that you played. So the music and the sound effects and all that are they're beautiful. They flow perfectly with the game and the atmosphere and the environment that you're in. Music changes accordingly when you go from, land to water in the level or whatnot. It's just crazy. They did bring back one of the animal buddies, and that was Rambi. They didn't bring back any of the others, which is maybe, some people have a gripe with that. I would have liked to see it, but it's not a deal breaker for me in any way, shape, or form. But Rambi is back, and there's some specific levels where you need Rambi, where you need to just charge and just break through rocks and, obstacles that are in your way. But what can I tell you, man? The game is ultra challenging. There are levels now in the later worlds. I'm on the last world. I'm back on Donkey Kong Island, and I'm maybe a level or two right before the final boss. That's why I felt like doing this review, because I feel like I played enough where I can tell you how good the game is and the insight to it. But there's a couple of levels, especially on Donkey Kong Island, that have cost me easily. And even in single player mode, especially in multiplayer mode, because in multiplayer, you and your friend, or in my case, me and my wife, are cooperating trying to beat the levels. But even in single player mode, has cost me easily 10 to 15, sometimes 20 lives on one level. Okay, that's how challenging it is. The amount of imagination and creativity that went into how these levels are designed, how they're stylized, how you jump from the foreground to the background with a dynamic camera moving around and all that. It's just amazing. Donkey Kong and Friends have never looked better graphically. Their fur, you can see basically every individual hair on their fur, even while you're playing the game. It's not just in the cinematic at the beginning of the game. Throughout the entire game, during gameplay, their fur moves with the wind, and you can see the individual, every movement they make, you can see the fur reacting to it. The environments are alive and lush and just thriving. The combination of music, the graphical look of the game, the clarity of 1080p HD, and just amazing sound and visuals all dancing together in this beautiful marriage of just video game bliss. It's the only way I could describe it. Yeah, man, like I said, it's ultra challenging, but it's never, throw yourself through a freaking sliding glass door frustrating. It's just frustrating because you're like, damn, man, I should know better. The game gets you so well with its design. So it's done very well. What else can I say about it? Controls. Control options, you have a myriad of control options. You can play with the gamepad, with the Wii remote, or turn on its side like an NES controller, with Wiimote Nunchuck, or the Wii U Pro controller. I play usually with the Wii U Pro controller. I think I played once or twice with the gamepad. There is no real gamepad integration, which is my only real major disappointment with this game. I mean, I don't want to say major to make it like seem like it's a big thing. Just disappointed that Nintendo didn't take advantage of one of their biggest franchises to really integrate with the gamepad. But I get why not when you look at the kind of game it is. Had this been a full 3D Donkey Kong game like Donkey Kong 64, then I'm sure they would have found some very useful integration for the gamepad. But we know that's coming with Mario Kart and Smash Brothers and things of that nature. Probably Monolith Soft X is really going to use that gamepad to its full potential. But, you know, that's the only thing. But yeah, man, just the worlds, the design, the music, the characters, the way it controls, how tight the controls are, and just the epic, frantic platforming action. There are some levels where you just like, you're going to have to go through these levels and keep a frenetic pace to get to the end so that you don't die. But while you're doing that, keep in mind where you see the KONG letters or puzzle pieces that you missed, so that when you go back, you have a memory of, okay, I know this is coming up, now I can get it. You know, because some of these levels are just ridiculously hard, but it's awesome. It's all amazing fun. That being said, man, I mean, there is really no real negative about this game, other than the tiny little gripes that I've said, like, you know, no Wii U gamepad integration, for one. You can only play a single player, you can only play as Donkey Kong, which is expected, but, you know, some people have a problem with that. And I forgot what the other one was, but really they're just so minor that they're not worth mentioning, man. This is a masterpiece. This is a must-have Wii U title for Wii U owners, and it's definitely a game that I've seen. Like I told you a story in a previous video of mine. I've seen people that I know see this game and be like, "Oh my God, Donkey Kong is back! Where is it? Oh, it's on Wii U. Well, I'm gonna go out and buy a Wii U just for this." I don't expect people in droves to be doing that, but I do expect some people to do that because the game is that good. It could very well be a system seller. It's just a classic example of how good Nintendo's franchises are and how good Nintendo's second-party relationships are with some great studios like Retro, because this is the second Donkey Kong game that Retro does, and they've both been amazing. And this one's better than the last one. So I can't wait to see what they're working on, because we know now, it's confirmed, they've been working on a new game for a couple of months now. I won't speculate. I think I know what it is, but I'm not going to speculate. Anyway, back to the review. I mean, there's not much else that can be said. It is an amazing title. Definitely worth your attention if you're a gamer, if you like platforming games, or if you like just traditional, just challenging games. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is right up your alley. I give this game, without a doubt, no hesitation, a 10 out of 10. With no problems. I'm telling you right now, this is probably the best game available on Wii U right now. I think it's kind of dethroned Mario 3D World as my favorite Wii U game right now. I mean, my favorite Wii U game is always going to be Zombie U, because Zombie U just blew my mind. But I'm talking about, you know, the big time Nintendo franchises. Mario 3D World was it. Then I had Wind Waker HD right after that. But now, to me, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze has just taken it to another level. When you consider how good the game looks, how alive and vibrant the worlds are, how dynamic this game is, the controls, the new dynamic camera, the 3D aspect of the game. I mean, the fast-paced action, the platforming goodness. It just you play through this game, especially your first time, and even other times after that, as you're playing through the game, and you play these certain levels, and there's a lot of them, that you just can't help but have this ear-to-ear childlike smile on your face as you're playing, because it's done so well. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically my review, man. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, y'all. Go out and get it. Let's make sure that this game gets good sales numbers so nobody be talking crap. Yo, this is an amazing title. Definitely worth every Wii U owner out there who has any love of games whatsoever. And if you have a Wii U, I don't know why you would not have a love of games. Get this game. It's amazing. God bless y'all. Stay gaming. Peace. 10 out of 10, y'all.